What's going on, people? Welcome back to JABULANI XI. We are live for another episode of the Ideal Prospect. And once again, I'm joined by the main man, football journalist, Mr. Anthony. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm blessed. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm still trying to recover from yesterday's Europa League.
Football journalist.
So yeah, man, it was a tough one yesterday, but we move in it. We move. I know you lot had a good one though.
Big result.
Big result. But yeah, today we're talking about another exciting player, somebody that's obviously been on the radar for a while now. We've seen him play for years, but obviously we're gonna break down and see what is inspiring his insane goal scoring form. So that man is Mr. Kelechi Iheanacho, senior man, the man that has been on the lips of many journalists. I've seen him all over Twitter over the past couple of weeks. 24 years of age, but you know, you're somebody that's seen the potential in Kelechi for a while now. Yeah. So what impressed you from the get-go?
What impressed me about Kelechi Iheanacho was his hunger. Even when he started, every time he was on the pitch, you could see he had the hunger. You can see he had the, you know, I wouldn't say courage, but I would say, like, you know, when things weren't going for him, he'd still try different things. He still you know, put himself about and all that stuff. So it's the hunger that really caught my eye. And even I can remember, if I can remember one game, it was the Manchester derby when he scored and assisted that goal. Because I remember it. I was thinking, who is this guy? Like, what's he doing? What business does he have scored in this, you know, in this derby? And you're just starting out. What business does he have here? You know. But I can remember he was so hungry. He was so alive. He was so, you know, it's passion. And that's what you don't get from much, you know, African players when they come to Europe. They don't, you know, they shirk under the responsibility. They shirk under the pressure. But him, you know, he just moved when he just did his thing. So yeah.
Well, yeah, just like you mentioned the Manchester derby. We've got a lot to get through today, but before we actually dive into things, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel as well, and comment whilst we are going through, and we'll try and bring up one of your comments during the video as we are live. So yeah, so Kelechi Iheanacho, like I was saying, 24 years of age. He was born in Owerri, Nigeria, and actually represented the 𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗥𝗬 Academy at youth level. You can see him here, right on the left-hand side in his little baggy shirt and shorts. But you can see that he's really come a long way. I think one of the things that caught a lot of people's eyes about Kelechi Iheanacho was his performance at the Under-17s World Cup in 2013, where he actually won the Best Player Award. So, you know, you could see him here with 𝗙𝗏𝗏 Blatter giving him the award there. And yeah, he really, you know, got the interest of, you know, the likes of Arsenal, Sporting Lisbon, Porto as well, you know. And fast forward from that, I think that's actually what caught the guys at Manchester City's eyes, you know, the likes of Pep. And, you know, if someone like Pep catches your eyes, you know, and you impress someone like Pep, you know there's potential in that player. So obviously, you know, signed for them in 2015, and for me, I feel like he done quite a lot at Manchester City. Like you were saying, you know, scored in the Manchester derby. For a player to do that, you know, is quite impressive. Not many players, especially when they're just starting off. You can see he's number 72. You can see he just come from the youth academy. Not many players starting off would just go straight into the team like that, and especially into a game just like that. You know, he went on to score a hat-trick against Aston Villa, and actually ended the 2015-16 season with the best goals per minute ratio at the club of any player, you know. And we're talking about the likes of Raheem Sterling being there, the likes of Sergio Aguero. You know what I mean? So that is very impressive, you know. And ending the season, you know, as City's top goal scorer that year, playing in the Champions League. But I really wanted to just break down and ask what you think went wrong for him at Manchester City. Because it didn't seem like Pep didn't like him. You know, he ended his Man City career with 21 goals in 64 games. You know, it didn't seem like Pep didn't like playing him. You know, he was coming off the bench quite regularly. What was it you think that Pep was just like, you know what, if a bid comes in for this guy, I'll probably just let him go?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I'd like to think that Pep, you know, saw something in him to maybe want to give him the opportunity elsewhere. Because, you know, you got Aguero scoring goals for fun. Who's going to replace, you know, who's going to, you know, take Aguero out of the team? I like to think that Pep, you know, saw something in Kelechi. I can't have him on the bench week in, week out. He's got to be playing games. And maybe that's why, you know, he thought, you know, let's sell him. Let's give him the opportunity. But there's there's something that, you know, probably managers see in some strikers where they want to sell them. They're probably not reliable. They're probably, you know, at that time, Pep was under pressure to get City to where they needed to be. You know, because I can remember that season when he left, and the season before that, Pep had a proper clear out. So at that time, I was kind of understanding, you know, the reasons why Kelechi Iheanacho was let go, because, you know, Pep wanted to make a new team, and Iheanacho was unfortunately part of the exodus. So it was unfortunate for him. But, you know, as I said before, I'd like to think that Guardiola thought, you know, he needs to be playing games, so let me sell him.
I'd like to think the same, because even when he first broke onto the scene at Man City, I was thinking, yeah, this is good. This is not only good for City, but this is good for Nigeria as well. You know, to have a player from our nation playing for a big club like that at that level, especially when it was a time when people were starting to realize, okay, this City team is a massive problem. You know, I thought it was proper good for him, but, you know, Pep let him go. And to be fair, you know, going to Leicester City in 2017 wasn't necessarily the worst thing for him. You know, Leicester City obviously just coming, winning the Premier League a season ago before he joined. They were playing in the Champions League, so, you know, there was a little bit of, you know, interest and as to why he went there. I personally think it was a decent move. So obviously, fast forward to this season now. You know, this is his best goal scoring season at at Leicester City. Scoring 17 goals so far. And he's really impressive, bro. But I wanted to even break down, you know, what do you think has changed now from before? Because even when he first signed to Leicester City, he wasn't that impressive. You know, I feel like he was still trying to find his feet. I feel like he was still trying to you know, maybe find his place into that team. But he's gone from that, you know, to taking Leicester City to the FA Cup final. You know, that's a massive thing to do at Wembley Stadium. Winning the Player of the Month. You know, not many Nigerian players have actually won the Player of the Month. So for him to be added to that list is massive. And that's also resulted into him getting a new deal. So he's got a new deal at the club, and that just shows that he's proving to Brendan Rodgers that he wants to keep him in his plans. Do you know what I mean? Brendan Rodgers is somebody that is not going to play anyone that is not impressing him, that is not performing. You know, and yes, I think it was quite lucky that Vardy got injured and he was able to get a starting place into the team. But it's proven now that he's impressed, because Brendan Rodgers now has to play both of them. So what do you think? What do you think was going on before that we weren't seeing this form from Kelechi at the start of his Leicester City career?
I think, well, firstly, it's opportunity. You know, he's getting the opportunity. That's why he's impressing right now. A lot of people can argue that he's only in the team because of by design. Because Harvey Barnes was injured, Maddison was injured, Jose Perez was injured, and Vardy had an injury spell as well. So, you know, Brendan Rodgers had to put him in the team. You know, there wasn't anyone else. But yeah, people can say that, but he's taking this opportunity by the scruff of the neck. You know, he's grabbed it with both hands, and, you know, throughout Rodgers' time at Leicester, you know, he's understood that Iheanacho hasn't had the opportunity You know, he hasn't had the chance to impress, and you can see in his press conferences since his appointment a couple of years ago. You know, Iheanacho, he needs to do more. He needs to, you know, I will give him a chance, but he needs to prove it. And it's you know, it's pleasing to see that finally right now we're seeing the best of Iheanacho. And probably the reason why it didn't work with 𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗥𝗬 is probably because Vardy, you know, the year before Vardy won the league, you know, Vardy practically won the league by himself with Mahrez and Kante, you know, and so it was difficult to take Vardy out of the team, you know, and then Vardy was hardly getting injured, you know, so you could say that Iheanacho's opportunities were limited for a reason, and but yeah, you know, whenever he came on the pitch, I always saw something in him. I always saw something, you know, the hunger, the drive, the passion. He had it in his locker, and you know, what's so good about him now is his movement. He's a fox in the box now. You know, he can get in the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of elements to his game that he's matured on, and he's improved on, which is pleasing.
Do you reckon his confidence was knocked a little bit when he moved into Leicester? Because obviously coming from Manchester City, massive club, you're given your chances and you're proving yourself there, but you're still getting sold. Do you reckon him coming to Leicester City, it must have knocked his confidence a little bit, especially because he wasn't in form?
Well, yeah, it must have been a massive confidence loss because you know, you're being sold by Guardiola. You know, every footballer has the dream of playing under Guardiola. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't put that down as a bad move for him at the time, because you know, Leicester were Premier League winners. You know, not too long before his move. So you know, and I think that season they went to the Champions League. So you know, he had the opportunity of playing at the top level. And you know, I wouldn't see it as a move where, you know, he'd thought, you know, where's my career going? You know, Leicester are a good team in the sense that they allow players to have the opportunity. You know, he may be in some sort of an unknown quantity, but you know, we'll give the opportunity. And look what's happening now. He's proven himself.
He really is. I don't mean to, you know, knock his achievements, but you know, I feel like one place where I feel like this form will really help is his space in Nigeria's team. Obviously, you know, how many games did you say he's played for them?
Yeah, so he's played 31 games and scored nine goals, which may seem decent to you know, some people, you know, at international level. You know, you want him to get more because we know he can get more. So yeah.
And especially because I feel like now there's going to be a lot of competition, you know, for him going up top, which we will go into that a little bit more. But I feel like this is a great thing for 𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗥𝗬 and Nigeria, you know, especially even though we still are quite far away from you know, the Africa Cup of Nations next year. I still feel like if he can carry this form on to the end of the year, it's going to be a pivotal part. He's going to play a pivotal part for Nigeria. But one thing I wanted to touch on is also one of the reasons why a lot of managers don't sign African players is because they have to go to the Africa Cup of Nations in January. Now, do you think this could possibly affect 𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗥𝗬 having a starting place in Leicester City squad? Because let's say next season starts now and he pop in, he's doing his thing, and then he has to go play for Nigeria in January. That's mid-season. That is, you know, we all know that after January, especially that busy period, it's time to knuckle down. Like, you need to get those results because it's coming to crunch time towards the end of the season. Do you think that might have a part to play in him, you know, even though he has signed a new deal? Do you think that might play that has a part to play in him maybe not getting as many opportunities as he should?
Well, you know, firstly, God forbid he gets injured, because you know, you want to be playing games. But there are reports that Leicester are trying to get another striker in, which may not, you know, may not make you know, Iheanacho happy about, you know. So but Jamie Vardy is on the wane, so it will be understandable for Leicester to get another striker in, and that African Cup of Nations in next year could derail his chances of becoming actually a top #1 striker for Leicester City. But that he needs to make sure that when the season does resume in August or September, that he's firing on all cylinders. He's playing like he is now. And that will give Rodgers the indication. Okay, this guy really wants to be the #1. He really wants to take Vardy's place. So I'll give him that chance when he comes back from the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah, because there was even a few reasons why they moved the Africa Cup of Nations back to January, because obviously it was in the summer in 2019. There was people were talking about the pandemic might have affected it, and also the weather in Africa during the summertime might have just been too bad for them to continuously do a tournament in the summer. But hopefully, as much as I love seeing these guys play for club, I need to see these guys play at international level as well. And that's the same goes for the likes of Mane and Salah and guys like that. Leicester City, they got Ndidi as well on top of that. So so hopefully, he does fire at the start of next season and he can go to the AFCON, produce, take a week off maybe or 2 weeks off, and then head back into the team. But obviously, to end the show, we always have to go to the fans forum. There's a little bit more we need to discuss, and it's based off one of these tweets. So I've got 3 today, as opposed to 1 last week. The first one is, no jokes, Iheanacho has done more for Nigerians than the Nigerian government, putting a smile on our faces every week. Iheanacho for president. What a goal. I wouldn't disagree to that. It's like Iheanacho, this one's from Paddy Power. It's like Iheanacho woke up a few weeks ago and just thought, you know what, I think I might be the best player in the world. And then it turned out he was. Weird. This is the tweet I wanted to focus on. And this one is from CFC Mod. And it says, Chukwueze, Iheanacho, Osimhen with Ndidi and a table in the midfield as well. Nigeria is eating good. Now, you know what? That makes me happy, and that's why I had to come and represent today for today's show, because
love it.
We have got players stacked up. Like we even saw yesterday, Michael Olise winning the Young Player Award for the EFL. And like, if you haven't watched our first episode on Michael Olise, make sure you go back and watch that. But it just goes to show that we are impressing, and those names there are just a few of few Nigerian players that have been impressing this season. We have Terem Moffi in Ligue 1 in France, 28 goals, 28 games, 14 goals. Wow. You move on to Italy, Serie A. You have Simi, 33 games, 19 goals. I think there's only a couple players that actually have more goals in that league than Simi this season. What's crazy is that Crotone are actually fighting for relegation. So for him to still be performing, I think a lot of clubs will have their eyes on Simi this summer.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
And then you also have Paul Onuachu, Belgian Pro League, 33 games, 29 goals. Wow. That is absolutely crazy.
Brilliant.
Iheanacho has got some tough competition. As much as, internationally, you'd most likely want to play the players that play in the hardest leagues and the best leagues. But when you see numbers like that, do you feel like, Kelechi Iheanacho has done enough to warrant a starting position in that Nigerian squad?
Oof. That's a difficult one, because even Paul or what's his name, or Iheanacho. So that is a brilliant record. The 33 games, 29 goals. That's unreal. That's unreal.
And a Belgian Cup to his name as well.
Yeah. So and he's amongst the top goal scorers in Europe, and in Europe. So Kelechi has a lot to do. If he's to become the #1 in that Nigerian team, because even we're forgetting forgetting about Victor Osimhen.
Osimhen as well,
he's propping up back from injury. He's performing again. So Nigeria has a lot of competition, and this competition that we've struggled to have in the past. when you talk about Yakubu, Kanu, and all that stuff, you know, these players, these strikers that we've just shown now, you know, there's a lot of competition, and it's good for Nigeria, but in the sense for in Kelechi's perspective, you know, I think there will be an advantage in the fact that he's playing in the Premier League, he's playing at the top level. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Leicester will secure that Champions League place for next season. So, you know, that could be in his favour going into the AFCON, you know, playing at the top level, playing against the best defenders in Europe. So, you know, hopefully, you know, he will, like we said, hopefully he will carry this form onto next season.
Let me just get your final thoughts on Kelechi Iheanacho, because we've seen players in the past hit form and just drop off. Do you know what I mean? Do you think this is going to be a permanent thing for Kelechi? Do you think he's now found his feet at Leicester City? You know, he knows what to do under Brendan Rodgers. Do you think we're going to see this on a consistent basis from him?
I am praying so. Because a few years ago I saw this coming. I saw this form right now coming. You know, like we described before, you know, his hunger, his passion, his drive, you know, he's got everything. But the one important thing, is the opportunities, but he's been given an arm around the shoulder. Roger just said to him, "You're good enough. You know, you are a good striker. I want you to show it." 14 goals in 14 games is no joke. You know,
no joke.
and that's this year. This year, just what's it, 2021, which is impressive. You know, so hopefully, you know, he can carry this on. Because you know he deserves to play at the top level, and hopefully, you know, as we said before, Leicester will be playing Champions League football soon. So, you know, hopefully that gives him the urgent to now improve even more. And you know, as I said before, you know, on the pitch we're seeing a lot of maturity in the game, because not only is he a goal scorer, he's an assister now. You know, even the last game, I think he created 4 chances. You know, for a number 9, that is brilliant. You know,
that's brilliant. Yeah.
And you know, it's shown that his game is improving, his game is evolving. So hopefully he can now take that forward and carry that on, because he's 24, he's still young. So you know, he's got the hunger, he's got the passion, he's got the drive. Can he now translate that onto the field on a regular basis?
And lastly, Leicester City FA Cup final versus Chelsea. Who you got?
I want Leicester to win. If I'm being honest, I want Leicester to win.
But who do you think will win? That's the question.
You put me on the spot here. I'm not too sure. I can't put a definitive answer. I'm not too sure. But it's going to be a cracking game, definitely.
It's going to be a cracking game. I agree. But we'll end it there, man. Thank you very much for watching the latest episode of The Ideal Prospect. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment as well. If you want us to, if there's a specific player that you want us to do next week or even the weeks to come, drop the name in the comments and we'll try and get around to it. Make sure you follow JABULANI XI on all social media platforms. We post news, stats, and updates on all African footballers. So make sure you're staying updated, and we look forward to showing you some of the content that we've got planned. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and God bless.